So, yesterday we watched the trailer for the new Clayface movie coming out for DC, and there's a lot of uncertainty with that trailer and what is going on with DC and the James Gunn's DC universe. Uh, there's a lot of stuff that we still don't know, and maybe a lot of stuff that we missed during the trailer. So, I wanted to get more in depth of what we might have missed for that trailer. I decided let's watch the new Rockstars and see what they have to say about this trailer, because they're usually much more informed.
Rockstars, I'm Eric Voss, and yuck! This is a breakdown of the trailer for DC Studios.
Oh my god, that part.
DC Studios Gotham is finally revealed in the third film of James Gunn's DC Studios slate, starring Tom Rhys-Harris as the Batman villain.
So that's Tom Reese. Haven't heard of him, haven't seen anything from him. I don't think so. He doesn't look bad in the trailer so far. That seems like a decent seems like a decent actor for what I've seen, the little I've seen in the trailer. So far, we can't really judge much from the trailer. It's like 2 minutes. Can't get really much acting, but there's a lot of intensity in his eyes and a lot of stuff that I liked with the prosthetics and the VFX that they did for this movie.
AKA actor Matt Hagen. This teaser is only like a minute long, but it's filled with DC Easter eggs and details you might have missed. So let's break it down frame by frame to find everything and figure out together how Clayface will fit into the broader DC Studios vision for
Okay, let's see.
Now, I first saw this trailer last week at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, and for my deeper thoughts about the discourse around CinemaCon and the very weird civil war it seemed to start between press and content creators, we have an upcoming podcast on our In Our Underground feed. Take a listen to a little preview.
We're all people who work in this industry, who care deeply about television and film, and the fact that we chose to do it on YouTube and TikTok doesn't make us any less credible.
I think, again, I'm going to go back to, I wouldn't be chugging wasabi if Disney was paying us.
If you want to listen to the full episode, it's coming up soon, and you can get access to this and all of our episodes by subscribing to the NR Underground at nrunderground.supercast.
Always if you're watching my I've never done this. If you're watching my video, make sure to go check them out and make sure to check out anything that they're promoting. Because this is not a market substitute for the original content.
Okay, the trailer opens with this static shot of Matt Hagen in a hospital bed, face covered in bloody bandages, a breathing tube running into some newly formed orifice in his face.
Yes.
One bulging eye stares out at us, never blinking, for the full 1 minute and 3 seconds of this teaser, intercut by flashes of his life before and after this recovery period. Matt Hagen, aka the Batman villain Clayface, is played in this film by Welsh actor Tom Rhys-Harris. The movie was written by Hossein Amini from an original draft by Mike Flanagan, of course the showrunner behind the various Netflix horror series.
Oh, I did not know that this was a Mike Flanagan thing. I did not know that Mike Flanagan was involved in this. One of my all-time favorite shows is always going to be Midnight Mass. He did a great job with that in a subversive take in the vampire genre with a lot of religious tones and undertones that it was blended perfectly, and there was a lot of stuff there that was so perfectly used for what it was. Love that show. So if he's in this, I'm already getting a good feeling about the movie. I am getting a little bit more excited than the trailer got me. And I got excited for the trailer. You can see it in the reaction.
Like The Haunting of Hill House and its other spin-offs. And the movie is being directed by James Watkins.
Haunting of Hill House too.
Evil and the quite haunting Shut Up and Dance episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, so this is a true horror film.
Clayface unravels one man's horrifying descent from rising Hollywood star to revenge-filled monster in a story that explores the loss of one's identity and humanity, corrosive love, and the dark underbelly of scientific ambition. I like that verb there. Unravels recalls another famous iconic DC film moment of unraveling a monster underneath some bandages.
Joker.
This is the third film of the DC Universe slate, overseen by James Gunn and Peter Safran, and interestingly, its official tagline kind of follows a trend that we saw with the taglines of the first two. For Superman, it was Look Up, for Supergirl, it was Look Out, and for Clayface, it's now Look Fear in the Face. Matt Hagen will suffer some attack to his face, maybe by some organized crime element, and in a vain attempt to fix his appearance and salvage his acting career.
I will say, so far I like how they are keeping continuity, or not necessarily that, but they're doing these little things, like he just said, the whole look thing, to attach the individual piece of content to the greater universe. But also I am liking the way they are distinguishing one from the other. They're not making them a conglomerate of just garbage movies that are somehow melded into one thing. I'm not throwing shots at anything. Snyderverse, I wasn't a big fan of it. I know some people now say that they were big fans of the Snyderverse, but not back in the day, not when it came out. Let's be real. People who say they are not being completely honest, and they're just trying to bandwagon something that was never going to happen, because it's easier to complain about something that didn't happen than to be able to enjoy what is happening. That way you can complain about what is happening and say that you could have had it better, because it's not exactly what you want. So you're living in this fictitious life where things turned out differently from what they actually turned out. That doesn't do anything for anyone. That just makes you ignorant, or just I don't even know what to call it, but that's crazy people.
He's going to undergo an experimental treatment that will make things even worse. Now, the character of Clayface was first introduced in Detective Comics number 40 in June 1940 as Basil Carlo, a B-list actor driven insane when he hears that a remake of his classic horror film would be shot without him, and he dons the costume of his Clayface movie villain and becomes a serial killer. Then, in the Silver Age of DC Comics, Clayface was reintroduced as Matt Hagen, a treasure hunter who stumbled upon a subterranean pool of chemicals that turned him into this clay-like monster. But arguably the most famous version of Clayface merged these two characters in the Batman animated series 1992 two-part episode.
One of the best episodes of TV, or animated TV, matter.
Episode arc Feet of Clay, with Matt Hagen as a popular actor who gets addicted to a chemical that allows him to alter his facial features without makeup and allows him to keep his good looks to hide the fact that he was disfigured in a car accident years ago. But when he overdoses, he becomes the monstrous Clayface. Actually, the way Batman eventually defeats him in part 2 is to pull up on various screens past roles that Matt Hagen had played, which then freaks out Clayface as his body shapeshifts chaotically. Clayface seems to electrocute himself to stop this, but then later Batman prods a piece of his clay and they realize that electricity really has no effect on Clayface, and that he really had them taking a clay shell of his body to the morgue, and that he had actually faked his death. This movie looks like it's going to be a modern body horror story that explores the themes of vanity and show business, similar to The Substance. It does not appear to...
That is something I'm interested in. I mean, I'd be perfectly happy if they just adapted that like 20-minute episode of animated TV into a movie. Fantastic TV. But if they're taking it more, like I said in the reaction, what it seems like they're taking it in, which is the more body horror type of movie and horror thriller, maybe / drama, and they're mixing that in with the Batman, I am totally in. I'm all for it. Seems fantastic. So far, this is getting better by the second.
be doing any heavy lifting of the broader mythology of James Gunn's DCU, but technically this is the first time we are seeing the DCU Gotham City in live action. The same Gotham City that the
True.
in 2025
It did say that.
Now, the Gotham City of Matt Reeves, the Batman from 2022, which starred Robert Pattinson.
This movie is so good. This movie is so good. This movie is so goddamn good. I am so disappointed that we still haven't gotten more of this movie. If they gave me, the year wouldn't be miserable if they gave me the Batman Part 2, Mr. Freeze, main villain, in December or November, heading into December, coming off of Clayface. Oh, I'd be so happy. That would just make it the cherry on top of the banana split. Just amazing. This movie was great. I love Robert Pattinson. He's by far my favorite. I'm not going to say the best because we had this conversation. Each person brings a new thing to the role and each person can have something that you like better about it. But to me, it's a more faithful adaptation of what it is, Batman's story. I love the Nolan movies. Nolan is one of my two favorite directors. Surprisingly enough, Matt Reeves is the second of my two favorite directors because of his Planet of the Apes movies, just based on that alone. God, that's if you take Kingdom out of it, and Kingdom is a great movie, but if you take Kingdom out of it, it's the one of the biggest contenders for one of the best trilogies of all time. Dialogue alone and acting in that movie is amazing, especially if you consider motion capture. Easy. But yeah, Nolan did great, but lacked a little bit of the Batman element to it. Felt more like a spy thriller action movie that just happened to be with a guy that was named Batman. Surprisingly enough, the first Batman feels more like a Batman comic book movie than the second one, or the third one for that matter.
And its sequel coming in 2027, and the same Gotham of the HBO Penguin series, that has so far been clarified by James Gunn to be set in an Elseworld. That said, Matt Reeves is a producer on this Clayface film, and he tweeted the trailer drop, so who knows what's going to connect here. But either way, by starting with a monster story in James Gunn's Gotham City, James Gunn is signaling that he wants Gotham City to be a rogues gallery-driven setting, a place of sympathetic monsters that gets so bad and so corrupt and so freakish that it really needs a freak like Batman to combat them. So in this trailer, we cut from Matt in the hospital bed to an insert of his past, or maybe some other time. First, this shot of him during the daytime, and then we see him smiling on the red carpet of a movie premiere outside a theater that looks like it's called the Light Box. It's possible that many of these are not actually in his past, but maybe the life he either wishes he had, or the life that he starts being able to live for a time after his Clayface abilities allow him to transform his appearance to the benefit of his career. Like, there are some set photos suggesting that during this scene on the red carpet, Matt will smile in front of the fans and photographers, but then run away when his face begins to melt, outside of his control. This movie's marketing team has been posting fictional publication covers in the universe of the movie, including one entertainment magazine discussing Matt Hagen as a rising star, and another Gotham Gazette front page reporting his attack, with a tear ironically running through his face. On the first of those, there are some Easter eggs on that one. The name Laura Dethesis in the upper right could be a play on the term lordosis, which is a medical condition of the spine. Ashes on Sunday is a fictional DCU band that actually showed up on a prop poster from the Clayface movie set, with that poster naming lead singer Dina Drake, aka the Black Canary of the DC world. Blister Twister is actually a rock group from Batman number 412 in 1987, and then Lucy Haley is actually just this movie's prop master. We see a shot of Matt's face being cut as he's held down that we can't really show you the full version of because it's too violent, and then another insert of plastic bandages to hold his face in place. Now, the music that we hear throughout this trailer is a piece of a cover of the Flaming Lips 2002 track Do You Realize, which normally is followed by That You Have the Most Beautiful Face. Interestingly, this song was used in the very first teaser shown for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that was shown to attendees at San Diego Comic-Con in 2022. So maybe it's just a song that James Gunn really likes. But there, it was a reference to the body modifications undergone by Rocket Raccoon at the hands of the High Evolutionary. Here, it takes on a much darker tone. In fact, we don't even hear the full song. Just the repetition of Do You Realize, kind of making it a message that Matt Hagen can't allow himself to hear fully because he does not believe that he has a beautiful face. And speaking of Flaming Lips, remember, it was the Flaming Lips Bad Days that introduced Jim Carrey's Riddler's home in Batman Forever when he made his first riddle for Bruce Wayne. So really, the Flaming Lips
that could have been so good.
All DC villains. It is so hard for me to establish boundaries. As soon as somebody asks me for something, I find myself putting what they need before what I need.
Okay, we're gonna do ethical reacts. We're gonna listen to the ad, but we're gonna speed it up.
It's 100% a normal and healthy thing to do, to be like, hey, sorry, I can't. You don't need to make up an excuse or have a bulletproof alibi for why you can't get coffee this weekend. You can just say no. I've gotten tons of little bits of advice like that from therapy that make life easier. BetterHelp, the sponsor of today's video, makes therapy easier to access. You fill out a short questionnaire about what you're looking to get out of therapy. Then BetterHelp will match you with a therapist based on your preferences, their own clinical experience, and over a decade of matching expertise. You can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. Join the 6 million plus people who have gotten help from BetterHelp, the platform you can trust. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/newrockstars and get 10%.
If there's anybody watching, click the link in their description, use their code if that's what you need. Always support the people that you watch, especially if you're reacting to their stuff.
Off your first month of therapy. The trailer now starts to show a female hand injecting some.
This is, yes, I said it was a female hand. I said it.
His face was cut in the other shot,
but I'm wondering who it is.
By Naomi Ackie's
yes.
Who's reported to be playing Dr. Caitlin Bates, a fringe scientist compared to Elizabeth Holmes, and reportedly Hagen's love interest. But one of the marketing posts was this cover of Gotham Medical, which lists an interview with a Caitlin Core, calling her the new face of regenerative medicine. The cover story also mentions the future of organ transplants and has another article about urban health challenges tackling airborne diseases in mega cities. DC mega cities? Really, we're just talking about Metropolis and Gotham there. So I'm wondering if Caitlin begins this movie as Matt's partner, but then after his accident, she moves on and begins dating Max Minghella character. He's playing a Gotham City police detective who has been described as Caitlin's boyfriend. There are also some inserts of Caitlin looking into a microscope as we see some cells on the left screen and on the
I was looking at this and I was trying so hard to make out what this is. Let's see if he knows.
right screen, you can make out the words nanocell infection, parentheses simulation, on a screen where you can see veins running through a 3D scan of a face and a head. So I think what Caitlin injected into Matt's face was a type of bacteria that she thinks will help his facial tissue repair itself, when actually this microorganism is going to take on a life of its own and morph Matt's flesh into something resembling clay. The dark underbelly of scientific ambition in the official synopsis suggests that there's going to be some kind of medical sci-fi element in this story, and it's just a very popular thing in pop sci-fi these days, or at least after The Last of Us, to explore the mysteries of fungi. The Penguin series also had that subplot about the bleeding tooth fungus and how it was used to create the psychedelic drug of bliss. So whatever she injected him with, plus the airborne diseases that was mentioned on that.
I will say, Penguin also, again, Reeves, the Penguin was so good. One of the better shows to come out of the last decade. Jeez, that was heart-wrenching at times and such a great show. Really, really interesting take on the Penguin. And Colin Farrell just disappears in that role. He did amazing in the movie and he did amazing in the show. I cannot recommend it enough. If they made more shows like that, if the quality of the shows are like that one, if that's what's to be expected from the James Gunn DC universe, I am all for it. Bring it.
Magazine cover, these things affecting Gotham City right now, and or the Narrows that we see in this trailer, it all seems to be central to this movie's plot. We see Matt smiling as he looks through a window, then
it deforms, yes.
Melting in the same location. I mean, the practical makeup in this movie looks
so good.
Really
like I said,
Clayface,
the practical, yes, the props, the practical. Oh God for practical effects. Thank you. We don't need the 100% of the time CGI, overly expensive movie. Use practical. It will look so much better.
This is known for a full body transformation, and we do get a shadow glimpse of that later. They're keeping it mostly focused on his face as kind of a way to explore the character's psychology and how for him. I feel
like the reveal will be very short, and a lot of people are going to be mad at it because a lot of people are coming into this expecting to see a gigantic blob monster and let me see Clayface, let me see the animated show Clayface. And I guess it's going to be something similar to that in the sense that you won't get the whole time that like gigantic monster that is Clayface. I think it's going to follow the story. It's going to be very body horror driven, losing control of his body and losing control of his motor functions to be able to hold himself up until eventually he can't hold it anymore. And the anger is what fuels him to becoming this monstrous creature that comes out in like a epic moment of just fury and attack. And I am imagining way too much, and I am giving it too much credit for something I haven't seen already. I just want to let's finish this video, because if not, I'm not gonna be able to finish.
It is just about his appearance in a mirror. We see Matt running down an alley that I think is after when he flees the movie premiere red carpet. And then there's this insert of his face melting that
this is so good.
He wakes up after his procedure. His nostrils have been kind of gooed over, and the skin over his mouth is kind of tearing open, looking like Neo in The Matrix when Agent Smith melts his mouth. We see Caitlin walking in front of a sign for Amusement Mile. Amusement Mile is a location in Gotham City inspired by Coney Island of the New York area. This is where the Gothamites go to play carnival games and ride rides and just in generally be kind of creeped out. And yes, anytime we see clown imagery in Gotham City, our minds immediately go to Joker and Harley Quinn. And I'll just say that any Gotham City where there's some clown murals is a Gotham City where the people there are just innately afraid of clowns, and there will be criminals who take advantage of that fear. There's a shot where the flesh-colored clay substance looks like
last time I couldn't remember what I was trying to think, what I was thinking about when I was saying the non-Newtonian fluid, and it was oobleck. If you ever mixed like it's something like water and baking powder, something like that, bicarbonate sodium or something. I don't remember what it is, but it makes something called oobleck, and it behaves like this. And if you put a piece of plastic on top of, let me see if I can find a, so you know what I mean. I know most people probably already know what I'm talking about. But, oh yeah, there you go. It is a non-Newtonian. Look at that, look at that. That is what I was talking about, like this. This is such a horrible video for the quality of it to show. But yeah, see, it kind of behaves like that, and with enough of it, you can see what I mean. Okay, that up, but then you see exactly what I mean. Like oobleck in a...
that Caitlin is testing. The way it moves resembles the way certain creepy sea creatures.
There you go.
Fluids have moved.
No, there you go. See, I called it.
That this could be some fungal substance with a mind of its own. We see an overhead shot of a spiral walkway as someone.
I don't know where this is. Who is this?
And we see Matt in an airplane lavatory as he yanks off his sunglasses and sees that his eyelids are melting. An airplane mid-flight, not a convenient place to have an episode. Then we see a shot that shows us some of the geography of the DCU Gotham City. A boat approaches the docks of an industrial part of Gotham that the ramp confirms is the Narrows. So that would make this body of water the Finger River, named after Bill Finger, co-creator of Batman. The Narrows is a rundown neighborhood situated on an island in the middle of the Finger River. You may remember the Narrows as a major setting in Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. There's a shot of Matt in a hoodie in a part of Gotham with some strip clubs, and then a shot of Caitlin in a scuffle with Eddie Marson's character as she claws back his cheek. But is this Caitlin or Matt shapeshifting into Caitlin? I'll come back to why in a bit. We see the shot of Caitlin and Matt holding hands, maybe in their past when they were still together, and then a quick shot of Joshua James's character looking up at us with a nosebleed. This actor played the Imperial torturer Dr. Gorst in Andor. Then someone who looks like
still haven't seen Andor. I should.
Gotham police car, but notice he's wearing the same.
Get some people in here, and if we get some people in here, and you guys show some love to the channel and start watching, and want to be part of the conversation and want to be part of the community, then maybe we can put up some polls, see what we can start watching, and maybe I'll get to watch Andor at some point if that's what you guys want. But we'll see.
Blue hoodie that we saw Matt wearing in another shot, so I'm guessing Matt shapeshifted into this guy to be able to sneak into somewhere. Then there's a big shot, the shadow of Clayface on the brick wall, where his Clayface form morphs his hand.
Yes, I know that's gonna be probably towards the end.
Weapon forms that Clayface's hand takes throughout comics, animation, and I'm thinking specifically toys. Then we see David Densick's character. Remember, he played Mikhail Gorbachev in Chernobyl. I think this is the crime boss Matt is scoring vengeance against. Notice that he's wearing a mobster suit with a fancy handkerchief tucked in, and Matt holds a blade over his face. The teaser ends at a very substance-looking shot of Matt in a bathtub, and he runs his hand down his face, and it smears like clay. Oh, there's so much give to this clay. It's just deeply unsettling how real it looks.
So weird.
The way the skin folds over itself to form a crease, it's deeply unsettling, especially if you pause in the final frame and you just see like the edge of his chin and how that skin just kind of hangs over that chin a little bit. It's clear Tom Rhys-Harris was cast at least in part for his bone structure. They really needed sharp cheekbones and a pronounced jawline.
Yeah, it's something to like
give these VFX artists an underlying structure to mold all this facial putty onto. When
this guy, he seems like a good actor.
Smearing looks specifically unnatural. Me, I barely have a chin. This just kind of goes in the back. If you cast me as Clayface, this is gonna smush in a way that still just looks like Eric Voss. Now, technically, the character of Clayface was already introduced in James Gunn's DCU and the animated Creature Commandos when he was voiced by Alan Tudyk, when Clayface was impersonating a college professor in order to make Task Force M think that Cersei's vision of Prince.
This show had a lot of mixed reviews, but I thought it was honestly really great. It's a good time. It's a chill, relaxed show that you can just put on and watch, and it has continuity to it, which I think it's great. Why not? Let's have animated in it. Like a lot of this property comes from drawings, from cartoons, from animation. Why can't we just have a little bit of animated in it? Yes, it's gonna be silly, it's gonna be funny, it's animation. It doesn't always have to be like super serious because it's based on certain properties or because the movies are a certain way. Like James Gunn said, everything has its tone. Everything is gonna be in its own tone. This is more comedic, this is more slapstick, this is more joke, and Clayface more body horror, more thriller-like, more a vengeance story and serious. Like Penguin is a Sopranos style mob boss type of thing. Everything can have its own tone. It doesn't have to be monotonous. Superman more hopeful, more heroic, lighter, heartfelt tone. And we'll see what they do with Supergirl and Lanterns and eventually, hopefully, Batman.
Solana's evil future plans was a bogus vision, when in fact it was not bogus. It was actually real. Now, we thought that Clayface was killed with electrical wires, but on Blue Sky, James Gunn did say the reports of Clayface's death have been greatly exaggerated. He is quite mushy, though. Also, in the Batman animated series feed of Clay episodes, Clayface is not destroyed by electricity. But either way, James Gunn has been a little inconsistent on whether these animated versions of these fantastical DC characters, specifically in Creature Commandos, will be the same versions that we see in the live-action movies. I mean, even Rick Flag looks pretty different. But James Gunn did definitively call the Clayface movie, quote, a DCU story when it was greenlit in December of 2024. So anybody online who's clowning James Gunn's vision over Clayface based off of what happened in Creature Commandos, I think we can expect this movie to be different. However, James Gunn did just give an update that the Clayface movie is set before Superman, and that Clayface is the first DCU movie set out of chronological order. So based on that, I think we can look at this Clayface movie as a prequel story to the Clayface we meet in Creature Commandos. And I think it's possible, based on James Gunn saying this is the first, that we might see other DC Studios movies around specific characters or villains that are just set
like
before the
Batman.
In order to establish
Batman, maybe.
History and lore of this world.
I like that. I like not keeping it like chronological order. Yeah, let's mix it all up. Marvel did that with Captain America.
Exclusive bonus content by clicking on the link in the description below. We're going to enter
the first one, I mean.
And yes, I'm wearing a Vought International shirt, a design that you can get exclusively.
So that, yeah, go support these guys, go subscribe to these guys. These guys have way more subscribers than I'll ever dream of, so I don't even know when I'm saying this, but it's the right thing to say. The right thing to do. Yeah, I like the video. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh yeah. I agree. I think this looks so far so good, and I think that people shouldn't just judge based on what they've seen so far and what they did like and what they didn't like and this and that. It's like, give each property, each movie and show a chance, and maybe be pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I still don't have a schedule for the videos that I'm dropping. They might just drop unannounced. I'm working on it. I swear I'm working on. But what I do have a schedule for is the live streams. So go follow me at twitch.tv /NovaGeorge42. Go follow me there. Hang out for a while. I am live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Trying to be live around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock to 8 to 9 maybe. Depending on the day, depending on how busy it is, depending on if I have time. And we're going to start watching some shows on there. So not next week, but the week after that. We're going to start watching some shows that may include Invincible, The Boys, and One Piece. All the new seasons that came out that I haven't gotten time to go watch. I wish I could have watched A Night of the Seven Kingdoms on here, which was a great show. Probably would have been hard to watch on Twitch. But I am going to have a hard time watching the other shows on Twitch too. So go follow and hang out. Thank you guys for watching.